Now for a brief word for the women. Go back to verse 9 there in 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. He says, likewise, I want women to adorn themselves with proper clothing, with modesty, that's with decency, and self-restraint, that is disciplined. Because you might want to be tempted to dress some other way. It says, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly clothing, but rather by means of good works, as is proper for women professing godliness. He is not saying that he wants the women of the church to look like Amish women. He is not saying that. You got to understand that in the first century in Ephesus there, and really in all Greek culture, that's what women did. They were basically hooked up Christmas trees, just from top to bottom with ornaments everywhere, jangling and everything. And you find in the book of Isaiah where the women focused so much on their looks and what they wore and the things they had on that it angered God greatly. And so basically what happened was the women there in Ephesus, maybe new believers, were coming to the church, trying to dress like those you find on People magazine, trying to dress like pop stars and so on. And one thing we have to understand is that in that culture, woman worship was predominant. Ephesus was pretty much the capital of woman worship because you had Diana of the Ephesians. And even in that temple, there was a lot of very nasty things going on, a lot of prostitutions. There were priestesses and all of that. So a lot of these women were coming into the church and they were trying to bring the world into the church. They didn't leave the world outside of the church. They brought it with them when the church came together and gathered to worship the Lord. Here's a quote from John Piper regarding these verses. Regarding self-centered women, nobody admires that woman except for the most superficial. She needs praise from others. She needs men to look at her. Or she needs other women to admire her. She's just needy. She might strike an absolutely staggering pose, referring to selfies, of course, in the culture that is all warped when it comes to what it values. But everybody who has maturity knows she's operating out of emptiness. We all know it. When people are always taking selfies, when people are always promoting themselves, we know it. Those of us who are wise in the Lord and Spirit-filled, we know that's emptiness. We know that's worldliness. We know that's self-centeredness. God is calling us out of that. Can I get an amen? We are in this world, but we are not of the world. We are of Christ.